ti chance pour bay kachil. Yo ka blasphémer un petit pays bon Dieu béni. Faut nous parlons pile sa bouche confesser c'est ça nous te récolter. Monde qui ka parler inutile, faut changer. C'est nous seulement, nous-mêmes qui ça fait une différence. Monde qui ka parler sans kachile changer. C'est nous seulement, nous-mêmes qui ça fait une différence. Nous-mêmes qui ça fait une différence. Nous-mêmes qui ça fait un changement. C'est nous seulement, nous-mêmes qui ça fait une différence. Oui.
That's why I say goodbye until 6:30 this evening for the evening announcements. The news comes up right about now, right here on DBS.
It's always a better choice. My one and only station.
DBS Radio.
Why miss a moment when there is DBS? From anytime, anywhere, stream on.
Fair and balanced, unbiased and clear, concise and accurate. This is the DBS Evening News. Here now is your presenter with the headlines.
Good evening, I am Leila Langford.
And I am Alian Christopher.
In the headlines, the decision by the Electoral Commission to suspend the registration of new voters has been criticized by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
In news from the region, Privy Council to decide on St. Vincent government vaccine mandate.
And internationally, UN chief urges increased global action to promote Africa's development.
The details of the news when we return.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
Welcome back and welcome to the listeners of Acoustic Worship Radio. In our lead story this evening, the decision by the Electoral Commission to suspend the registration of new voters has been criticized by Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Mr. Skerrit told a press conference this morning he is concerned that continuous voter registration is not taking place.
The Registration of Electors Act 2025, like its predecessor, provides for continuous registration of voters. I was therefore deeply disappointed to learn that the Commission has suspended the registration of new voters, citing the need to establish a new technology-enabled registration system. It is important to note that the Commission received the draft bill for the Registration of Electors Act 2025 for review in May 2024, 18 months ago, and provided its feedback in September 2024 as required by the Constitution. The bill was introduced in Parliament in December 2024, passed on March 19, 2025, and came into force on March 25, 2025. Given that the Commission has had a technology-enabled registration system in place since 2017, replaced earlier this year and currently being used for the confirmation process, it is difficult for me to understand how it can now claim to be unable to register new voters until further notice. I do not agree with this until further notice. I believe the Commission has a duty to let us know definitively when it will address the current challenges it's having and when it will resume registration of voters.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit. Meantime, Mr. Skerrit says the decision to call elections in Dominica will depend on the Constitution. Recently, concerns have been raised that due to the ongoing voters' confirmation process, elections cannot be called soon. The Prime Minister addressed this concern at a press conference earlier today.
The Constitution is supreme, and when you take an oath, nothing can fetter your exercise of your functions and duties under the Constitution. So the Parliament cannot pass any law, whether it's an election law or a law curtailing the authority of the President or the government, that is contrary to the Constitution. Neither can a resolution be passed in the Parliament that is contrary to the Constitution. That's established globally, where there are written constitutions. And even countries where there are no written constitutions, it can happen. And so they're two distinct matters. The Constitution is very clear that an election can be called in the country at any time by the President on the advice of the Prime Minister. And this is what the Constitution says. So that is supreme. So nothing else that Parliament does can fetter that or can constrict that authority or take that authority away from the existing provisions. People may want to say that it will be better, but they cannot say he cannot. They're two different matters. And I don't think I am prepared to allow anything or anybody to cause me to go contrary to my oath without favor, affection or ill will.
Do you think it would be better not to call?
It's not for me to determine. I can only go by the Constitution. The Constitution says that any election can be called any time. If an election is called tomorrow, or December, or January, or after Carnival, you will go over the existing voters list. The law took that into consideration.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Suskerrit.
A mother of 4 and director of the Love One Teach One Foundation, Gloria Walsh is Dominica's second Super 6 jackpot winner for the year. Gloria Walsh of Bath Estate walked away with the grand prize of $270,000. Walsh purchased her winning ticket on October 14th using the quick pick method at Esmart Shopping Center in Goodwill. Walsh said she is overjoyed by the win.
Well, first of all, it was around about after 10 in the night. So usually I would just check up on my numbers, but I saw Dominica. I seen everybody saying congratulations, Dominica, twice in a row. And then one day I was asleep. I was sleeping. And then at my phone, I took my phone, I put on the flashlight, lazy to go and put on light. And then I know where the ticket was. So while there, I was looking at the ticket and I see the numbers. So how it came out is exactly how I had it. And I'm like, well, it's a while. I was waiting a while. And then I went back again. I look at it. I said, boy, I still don't want to say, sometimes you just get, it feels like that sometimes, you're kind of scared. So happened that now, my partner, I woke him up. I tell him, look, I won the lottery, look, I won the lottery. He said, well, joke you making, man. I tell him, no, I won. Then when I call my son, he's there with me, and I tell him, let's take the flashlight and let us look at the number. I call him, and then so I saw the number. And it's he that made me, he that realizes how much, because I wasn't thinking of how much money. So it's he that realized, he realized the amount, and then he said that to me. But all in all, it's excitement, I feel elated.
The director of the Love One Teach One Foundation said she plans to use her winnings wisely, setting aside a portion for her retirement.
Well, my model is like for adults. For adults, I will give them something, but knowing the work I'm doing, because I all for charity, my work I do on the ground with my youth. First of all, I would say part of it for sure will go to retirement because you know how things are, but because I'm running an NGO, it's a non-profit organization, but I plan on using it wise for sure.
Winner of the $270,000 Super 6 jackpot and director of the Love One Teach One Foundation, Gloria Walsh. Meantime, sales and marketing representative of the Dominican National Lottery, Ken George, noted that the Super 6 jackpot has paid out a total of $1.7 million in Dominica so far this year.
The Super 6 game has paid out in Dominica over $1.7 million only in Dominica. We have had to date for the Super 6 game 10 jackpot winners throughout the Winner Island. And out of that 10 winners, Dominica can boast of 2 winners, and the highest being $1.19 million. This is reasons and more testimony that we, our players here in Dominica, our customers, you too can win. We have been on a drive to promote the combo plays. which we have noticed is being very well received among the customers. So you can play the straight, the combo, whatever you choose to do, make sure you play your Super 6 game.
And that's the sales and marketing representative of the Dominican National Lottery, Ken George.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit has described the voter confirmation process as efficient. His comment came at the electoral office this afternoon where he was confirmed.
Well, the process was very smooth. The staff very helpful. You know, they guided through the process. So even if you don't know, they will get you there. So I appreciate that, and of course, I'm sure that's the experience of everybody based on people who have told me the experience that they had. So I did experience the same smoothness and efficiency of the process. And of course, the reality is that we all have to comply with the law. For us to remain on the register of voters, we have to be confirmed, and that's the law. I know some people have concerns. Everybody will have concerns, but at the end of the day, we all have to comply with the law. There was a case made for electoral reform, for quote-unquote cleansing of the voters list, and that's what's required, you know, and so we all need to comply. But until the commission decides to change the requirements, we have to comply, even if we do not like the requirements. There are many laws in the country that we do not like, but we have to comply with the law. And the commission has the authority to decide what is it that is asking of you as part of the process, obviously subject to the laws approved by the parliament. But for the time being, even if we have objections, we need to proceed with getting confirmed, because that's part of democracy, and people's participation is important. There's nothing impeding you or preventing you from getting confirmed, and so we're urging everybody to get confirmed.
Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit.
And a new project to enhance the learning of mathematics among Dominican teachers has been launched. The official launch of the Advancing Caribbean Teachers in Mathematics Education project took place at Goodwill Parish Hall this morning. Dr. Chantal Moore of the Commonwealth of Learning, Canada, is one of the facilitators of the two-day workshop for 30 mathematics teachers in Dominica.
The 12 states of the Caribbean that belong in the Commonwealth, they are important to us, particularly for this project, the ACT in Math. The acronym means Advancing Caribbean Teachers. So we are working with the 12 states in the Caribbean to ensure that all the teachers in mathematics, they are advanced in many different ways. In essence, it's about professional development. And we know that when you work in an organization, if you are stuck in one zone and you never get the chance to stimulate your mind, stimulate your vision, then you lose the energy, you lose the joy of what it is that you're doing. And so CALL is about capacity building. It's about professional development. It's about enabling. It's about creating a catalyst for movement. And so we want to focus our attention on the Caribbean states now to get us moving in the direction of mathematics education.
And that is Dr. Chantal Moore of the Commonwealth of Learning. Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Robert Geist, says the project for mathematics teachers is timely as Dominica's results in mathematics need attention.
We recognize that over the years we have been struggling in mathematics. So this initiative comes at a critical juncture for education in Dominica. And for long we have been grappling with our results, the challenge of our students' performance in mathematics. Either 2020 or 2021, our mathematics performance at CSEC peaked at 50% at the CSEC level, 50%. And over the years, we have been grappling with scores averaging between 37 and 43%. We have yet to hit that 50% mark. And every year we release the results, the CXC results. We boast that, but boasting of being above the regional, not the national, the regional average, boasting that we're above the regional average and we stand at 39%, is, for me and for the Ministry of Education, it's not good enough. Yes, we are boosting, yes, we're better than you, yes, we're better than you, but we're still at 39%. So this is something that we're struggling with. And while we acknowledge the efforts of the teachers in maintaining our level, not going too far down and not going below the regional average, we must be frank. This is not where we want to be. This is not where we want our students to be.
Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Robert Geist. The two-day workshop for the mathematics teachers wraps up at the Goodwill Parish Hall on Friday.
In other news, a new fish landing site to the tune of over $240,000 for the Newtown community is nearing completion. Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte, says the project will greatly assist local fisherfolks within the community.
I embarked on a project to do a fish area for the fishermen in the community so that they could sell their fish in an area that is more decent, pleasing to the public. And so we did the project. It cost us about $70,000, the first phase. And what we did, we utilized tents for the covering. And I always said to the people and the fishermen of Newtown that the tents are temporary. Today we are doing a concrete structure over the fish landing area. It costs about $246,000. This project is funded through the World Bank. Corisav is the contractor on the project. There are 3 projects, the design and build. We're doing this area in Newtown, also at Fonkole and in Portsmouth as well. I know that the fishermen in the area, they welcome the project because, selling fish in heat is not good. Fish has to be in an area that is cool. And so today we're seeing the construction of the covering, a concrete structure that is more resilient for the people. And so the project should end. It's a 16 weeks project. Right now what is happening is that the contractors are preparing the roof for pouring of concrete. So we have a 1 month again to go for completion. The project should have actually started in July, but there was a little delay in terms of the design, and we had to work with the funds that were allocated to us. Within 1 month, the project should be completed.
Parliamentary representative for the Roseau South constituency, Shakira Lockhart-Hippolyte.
The eliminations for the Calypso season will take place at the factory on Valley Road on December 13. Vice President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Fitzroy Leon Bingo, has dismissed speculation that the new Calypso executive may not be prepared to pull off the 2026 Calypso season.
I can guarantee you there will be a 2026 Calypso season. There's an ad running concerning the eliminations on the 13th of December at the factory. The general membership elected a new executive, and we are doing as much as we can do. I can tell you as of now, we have been meeting with sponsors. I can safely say you sponsors that the previous executive has never had to deal with or has never dealt with, and we're getting results. So I can assure you there will be a 2026 Calypso season. My only thinking at this point in time, or my only concern, is that our Calypsonians produce product that the Dominican public will come out and support us. Once this is done, I have no doubt that we will have a bumper. The registration process has commenced. The public relations officer is saying that as of now, about 25 persons have registered.
And that is Vice President of the Dominica Calypso Association, Fitzroy Leon Bingo. That's the news, regional and international developments. Up next.
At Flow, loyalty pays back. That's why we're rewarding our customers with $400 in vouchers. That's like 5 months of your mobile bill back in your pocket. Simply add mobile to your current home internet plan and claim your $400 in rewards today. Loyalty pays back. That's how we keep your rhythm flowing.
DBS News.
In news from the region, the Court of Appeal has ordered that the landmark legal challenge against the government of St. Vincent and the Grenadines' COVID-19 vaccine mandate be referred to the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in London for final determination. The decision marks a pivotal moment in the long-running dispute between the government and dozens of public sector workers who were dismissed in late 2021 for failing to comply with the vaccine mandate. The applicants, represented by trade unions and legal counsel, argued that the dismissals violated constitutional rights. In February 2025, the Eastern Caribbean Court of Appeal overturned a 2023 High Court ruling that had sided with the workers.
And on the international scene, UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres urged the world to prioritize Africa and promote peace, security, and sustainable development on the continent. The statement follows the 9th African Union UN Annual Conference, where the UN and the African Union discussed the need to implement further cooperation frameworks as well as to boost joint action to address the challenges facing the African continent, including the spread of armed conflicts and climate change. The UN chief also emphasized that international efforts to advance Africa's development should focus on three key priorities, which are peace and security, climate justice, and the inclusion of African countries in decision-making. And that's all for the news for this evening. Stay tuned. The Sports Report up next.
Covering the nation and beyond, DBS Sports Report.
Welcome to the DBS Evening Sports Report. Head coach for the Dominica Under-23 volleyball team, Itoma James, believes his team stands a very good chance of winning the ECVA Under-23 tournament currently taking place in Antigua. Dominica came up against Grenada last night on the tournament's opening day and won that match 3-1. From their win, James says the team stands a good chance. However, he says there are a few minor areas that still needs to be worked on.
Yes, we won our first game. I think we still have a few things that we need to touch up on. We need to cut back on some of our errors so that we can, let the teams that we play against at least work for their points. It was a good fight from the guys. I am impressed with what I have seen so far. As it relates to the rest of the competition, I think we have a very good chance of going far in this tournament, just as long as we keep our head down, work together and fight to win the games. I think we have a very good chance of winning this tournament. Yes, I do believe that, the team chemistry would help us a lot. I still think that we can do a little bit more when it comes to that. But again, more time together, I think the guys actually starting to work a little bit better together. They're understanding what works for them and what doesn't work for them. So we just keep building on this one win and try to see if we can do as best as we can going forward.
That is head coach for the Dominica Under-23 volleyball team, Itoma James. Dominica is currently taking on Anguilla in their second game of the tournament. Ian Oscar scored a brace while Jeswani Blaise and Zane Thomas got one each as the St. Mary's Academy swept aside the Northeast Comprehensive in the Sports Division Secondary Schools Under-17 football competition. The St. Mary's Academy scored 2 goals on either side of the half as they controlled most of the game, limiting the chances for the Northeast Comprehensive School. In the end, the St. Mary's Academy took the match 4-0. Here is the captain of the St. Mary's Academy School, Ian Oscar.
A very comfortable victory this afternoon for the St. Mary's Academy, 4-0. Talk to us about, the performance of the team this afternoon.
Well, we played good attacking-wise. The defense could have been a little better. Though they didn't score, when we play in other teams, it could be a problem. Our midfield as well, we played well in the midfield. We scored the goals. Myself, Jeswani, and Kyle, I find the three of us playing very well in the middle. Though we could have played better, you can always play better, but it was a comfortable victory at the end, and next time I guess we're going to come harder.
All right, you scored 2 goals at either side of the half, 2 in the first half, 2 in the second half. Where do you think your team won that game this afternoon?
I believe we won this defensive-wise because our defense is very structured. Our attack, we scored many goals, but I mean, the team we played against is not one of the strongest. Though they played very well, they wasn't one of the strongest. We played well, and hopefully we can come again against DGS next game and play the same way.
All right, you talk about your defense a lot. Where else do you think you have to work on for the next game?
I feel like we have to work better on the wing. I mean, our wingers were playing very well, but the crosses were not coming in the box, especially as we are the tall players. We need more crosses coming into the box.
Captain of the St. Mary's Academy School, Ian Oscar. Captain of the Northeast Comprehensive School, Dracoy Alexander, says his team did not stick to their game plan.
A tough loss this afternoon, 4-0. Where did it go wrong?
Well, I can't exactly say where it went wrong because we didn't play to our strengths. We didn't knock the ball enough. And yeah.
All right, you didn't play to your strength. What was the strategy coming into that game then?
That game, we came in to knock the ball, but then during the game, our teammates started to dribble a lot more and take less shots. We should have taken more shots in front of goal.
How do you assess the damage here this afternoon and move forward onto your next match?
Well, the damage is not that bad, but we'll try to come back, and our losses always are learning opportunities.
Captain of the Northeast Comprehensive School, Dracoy Alexander. On to some cricket. West Indies white ball captain Shea Hope's call for the top order to step up went unanswered as New Zealand secured a 3-1 series win last night. The Windies lost Alec Athanes, who made 1, and Akim August, who made 8 very cheaply. Hope got 11 at the top, while Hope urged greater consistency up front. It was the middle order and the lower order players like Roston Chase, Romario Shepherd and Jason Holder who kept the fight alive with valuable cameos. Despite their efforts, the top order's struggle proved costly for the Windies.
Well, yes and no. It's something that we've spoken about. We just want to make sure that we put in good bowling under pressure as well, not allowing them to settle too much in the power play. Maybe that's one of our Achilles heel, especially last couple of games that we played. But as you said, it didn't really work out for us this time around, but it's something that we need to focus on going forward. Again, must give credit to the guys in the lower half for putting their hands up for the entire series, and just pleasing signs all around. Areas that we could certainly improve on, but you got to take the positive in every situation that we face.
I guess the power plays have been the biggest Achilles heel for the team during this series, and something that's probably not a tough fix, but you'd dearly love to have more runs and fewer wickets through those opening 6 overs. But then again, a very hard place to come and play, especially when the ball's seeming a little bit swinging through the air. It is tough for the openers to get through that power play unscathed here against this kind of bowling lineup.
Yeah, honestly, it's one of those places you got to come out to get a nice preparation phase. Something we didn't really have. It's not an excuse for the guys' performances, but it certainly would help in conditions like this. It's not familiar conditions that we would face back home or even some of the guys' younger careers. But yeah, it's certainly things that we need to focus on going forward, whether it's more mentally than physically or skill-wise. But regardless, we got to ensure that we're ready when the first ball is bowled. And I don't think we were as ready today, but like I said before, we just got to commend the guys for the effort that they showed, especially in the first 3 full games that we've played. So still pleasing signs.
West Indies white ball captain Shea Hope. Staying in cricket, West Indies has announced a 15-member squad for the upcoming 3-match one-day international series against New Zealand, scheduled to take place from November 16th to the 22nd. The series against the world's number 2 ranked side presents a crucial opportunity for the men in maroon to earn valuable ranking points as they look to strengthen their chances of automatic qualification for the 2027 ICC Men's 50-over That's the World Cup. Left-handed top-order batsman John Campbell has earned a recall to the ODI setup following his impressive test performances in India and his strong showing in last year's CG United Super 50 Cup. Campbell replaces Brandon King, who has been omitted after a recent dip in form. Cricket West Indies said the team management is focused on building a balanced squad capable of competing against the best teams in the world while maintaining a core group for the long-term development. The West Indies squad reads Shea Hope as captain, Alec Athanes, Akim August, John Campbell, Casey Carty, Roston Chase, Matthew Ford, Justin Greaves, Amir Django, Johan Lane, Kyrie Pierre, Shafin Rutherford, Jaden Seals, Romario Shepherd, and Shama Springer. Quickly on to Domino. 3 matches are on this evening from 7 p.m. in the Julius Timothy Domino League. Badside will travel to Woodford Hill to play Focus. BS Stars will be at home in Ansdime to play Itacy Stars. And Massey Square will meet Roadblock in Tebow. Dave Barron, president of the Dominica Tennis Association, expects tennis to make a strong comeback on the island following a week-long coaching course led by the international coach John Huda. Barron noted that although the number of coaches attending was limited, the course has been highly beneficial for the sport's growth.
Well, I think it's been productive. We would have liked to have more coaches involved. Right now we have about 4 or 5 coaches doing the program, but I think it's a good start because tennis has been kind of dormant for a while. So I think with that, it will see a resurgence in the whole tennis aspect of it. The course has been going well. Right now, we're starting to actually work with kids. The coaches are starting to work with kids, and you can see the enthusiasm and excitement on the kids' faces and their need to continue. So I think, in a nutshell, I think everything is going well.
President of the Dominica Tennis Association, Dave Barron, a coach attending the week-long session, Claudio Sanford, told DBS Sports that the course has been very informative.
You learn a lot from it, and especially strategies. You get a different level of appreciation for the children and for the complex situations that are put in front of you. At first, obviously, you think it's going to be something simple, something very easy. But when the international coach came in, you realize how much significantly difficult it becomes, how much more complex. So you discover a lot of different things, and you also surprise yourself with the amount of information you can actually take in and how you can challenge yourself to think outside the box. So overall, great experience. I wish he could have stayed here a lot longer, and I wish I could have underdone some coaching myself, from him, because he's brilliant. I love the way he interacts with everybody, how he gets the information across, how he challenges himself to make things interesting and fun and interactive. It was amazing.
And that's one of the coaches attending the week-long session, Claudio Sanford. Meantime, a young tennis player, a student of the Goodwill Primary School, Akan Toussaint, says he fully enjoyed the sessions.
It has been a new experience for me and a very exciting thing because I get to learn different skills that I can use to play this sport more. And overall, it has been a very amazing thing for me.
Student of the Goodwill Primary School, Akan Toussaint. And that's all for the Sports Report this evening. I've been the presenter of the Sports Report here for you, Ali and Christopher, on behalf of the entire news and the news team, the sports as well. Ali and Christopher saying good evening.
DBS Radio gives you top quality service over any other for live streaming of funerals. Call us today at 448-3282.
Welcome to the evening edition of the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. It is the 13th day of November 2025. We'll begin with this evening's edition of the DBS Radio Deaf Announcements on the DBS Radio Community Bulletin Board. We announce the death of Doreen Marie Simon née Matthew, age 66, of Loda, who resided in Cochrane. She died on Sunday, the 26th of October, at the Dominica China Friendship Hospital. She was the wife of Nelson Simon. She was the mother of Dwayne Charles and Carrie Lynn Simon Marshall. She will also be remembered by her stepdaughters, Kim Gardy and Nelissa Simon. Her grandchildren, Dakota Dawson and Marshallie. Her siblings, Carol Kwame, Irina Harvey, Corinthia Bertrand, John Joseph, Florence Matthew, Merrill Matthew, Michael Matthew, and Collins Bertrand. Her mother-in-law, Mona Nicholas, sisters-in-law Athenia, Vanya, Beatrice, Doreen, Marvelyn, Aislinn, Bertilia, and Usil. Her brothers-in-law Georges, Victor, Hamilton, Alex, and Timothy. Daughter-in-law Giselle Mondesir Charles. Son-in-law Marshall. Close relatives Joseph Gregoire, Kimani, Kwame, Kenita, Kimon, Bernita, Shellan, Kerwin, Dion, Erwani, Ava, Vikindra, Joshua, Lester, Kian, Kermoy, Susan, Frank, Frankie, Marvin, Felicia, Lauren, Verna, and Cynthia. Close friends Rose, Lena, Pamela, and Shelley. Other relatives and friends Mr. and Mrs. Riddle, Vernell, Father Elvio, Monsignor John Lewis, Monsignor Thomas, Editha, Teresa, Melinda, Beverly, Stacy, Alice, Mr. and Mrs. Copel, Juliet, Elsa, Ezra, Yolan, Stella, Callista, Chris, Juliana, Claudia, Vila, Mr. and Mrs. D.